Najib, an Indian worker who mortgaged his house and sold his possessions to obtain a work visa in one of the companies in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The story begins after he and his friend Hakim arrive in the kingdom. Their sponsor arrives late at the airport, and due to their simplicity and lack of language skills, a strict Saudi man seizes the opportunity. He is cruel by nature and violent in his dealings. He makes them believe he is their sponsor, then takes them to the arid desert, leaving young Hakim at the farm of one of his friends. He then takes Najib, the hero of the story, to his farm, to surprise Najib upon arrival with the presence of an elderly Indian worker who inherited the illness. It seems he had already been exposed to the same disease. For 3 years, Najib transformed into another person. His form and appearance changed, and his mind and ability to speak were affected. His kidnapper sponsor subjected him to harsh and strict treatment and a difficult, inferior life, and he began to live the life of goats, eating with them and emitting some of their sounds. The other worker was found dead, surrounded by vultures in the desert. He meets his friend Hakim, who finds himself in the same situation by chance in the desert, accompanied by another African man named Ibrahim who could help them escape. During their escape journey, the three suffer the hardships and horrors of the desert, and young Hakim dies from heat, thirst, and exhaustion. Then the young African disappears during a sandstorm. Finally, Najib reaches the road in a state of great fatigue and on the brink of death. After trying to ask for help, a generous person stopped and took him to the city, bringing him to the mosque, where some Indian workers from the hotel picked him up and saved his life. He is then taken to the authorities to report his condition, and it becomes evident how the authorities treat workers in unknown conditions, as well as the cruelty of sponsors in identifying a fugitive worker. Najib is terrified to see his kidnapper, who finally tells him that if he had been under his sponsorship, he would have sent him back to the desert. Najib then realizes he was kidnapped and this was not his sponsor, and after spending 3 months in prison, Najib was deported back to India.